So Lacey and I are here for 3 days near Bighorn Canyon. Our first night, we're actually going to be backpacking. We're going to do an overnighter, trying to get on, I think, Sykes Ridge. I assume the name, the map doesn't show it as that, but that's what the ATV road is called. Not taking the truck up it, obviously. We're going to be doing primarily off-trail just to stay off the road, too, for the dirt bikers and ATVers that are using it. Doesn't seem to be many right now, but we're starting parked right here, and the Sykes Ridge trail goes up this ridge. You can't backpack or tent camp really in non-designated spots in the Bighorn Canyon NRA right here. So we're going to stay on BLM land, and it follows the ridge, which I assume is called Sykes Ridge, all the way up, and who knows how far we're going to get. Our packs are pretty heavy. We're hiking in all of our water because it's just going to be a dry ridge camp in Montana's desert. So yeah, heavy packs, lots of elevation gain. Should be a really beautiful camp somewhere up there though. So yeah, I guess let's get going. It's like mid-70s, supposed to almost hit 80. It's going to be a very nice weekend. And there's the ridge we're aiming for. Doesn't quite look like Montana, does it? Got some wildlife tracks here. So we get into these junipers. Got some wild horse droppings, and it's like a game trail for them. Good way to tell regular pack horses and wild horses apart is wild horses all crap in the same exact spot like that, where it looks like someone scooped them up in a big pile. I remember looking up, or Lacey actually looked it up, and I can't remember the reason why the wild horses do that, but put in below why they do that. But yeah, the regular pack horses just kind of go whenever along the trail. Wild horses are a bit more calculated on taking dumps. The first crust we've ran into. Pretty cool that it's here. I have to walk around this. Found some water, but it is nasty looking. Alright, a little off-trail stint popped us out here. Oh, cliff face. We may actually start using the off-road route for the path of least resistance to get closer to that ridge. Because we lose too much elevation if we go this way, and then trying to avoid the road by going around. We just had too much extra time, so looks like we'll be walking a section of this road. Looks pretty steep, but at least there's no brush or something too uneven like the off trail we've been doing. Should get us within striking distance of that ridge. On the road, it loops behind camera, then back down there, then we're gonna start heading up. I'm gonna see what that section looks like, because this section looks easily drivable even for a car right now. Wonder if it gets rockier up ahead. The BLM wouldn't recommend side-by-sides unless they really meant it right. Let's find out. Alright, now it's slowly starting to look like a 4x4 road. Slowly getting there. Got our first wild horse of the trip. So we're near this ridge. You see there's a canyon between us and it. So we're just gonna stick with the road. So don't lose too much. The road wraps around this way, up this even grade, up into here. That should take us to the ridge. Very pretty out here. And there's why we went around it. A nice little steep drop. The topo said it was a drop. Didn't have any like steep cliffs, but it looked like a lot of work, but you can't see the bottom even there. That's a good call, but I'm gonna back out really quick here. We're about to actually leave the road for a second. Once we round this bend right here, the road goes this way, then cuts back. We're just gonna cut off straight up to the next section of road, save us some walking. Got some shade and a breeze, and it feels amazing. We just finished our pack off break. We're gonna go off trail now, up this feller, and gain that ridge. And then who knows, we might camp there, we might go even higher up the ridge, or we might just camp there and take our packs off and get on this feller. Because this is just the start of the ridge, like there's more of it that way. Looks like we got a little arch there. Well, we're still on our way up. Looks like after this next hump, it's gonna start to flatten out a bit. It seems like. We're almost to that ridge. So close.
We are almost there. This last push has been pretty tiring to say the least. We've gained a massive amount of elevation. Lacey and I see the ridge we're shooting for. Those rocks right there. The sheer drops just on the other side, so we're only like 300 yards from being done for the day. Crack open a nice beer and enjoy the view. I assume the view on the other side is going to be pretty exceptional. Yeah, to give a little perspective of where we started today. We started past those red formations way out there. Now we're almost to our spot. I think get to that big rock, and it looks like there's a game trail. I'm gonna cut over to these guys. Well, we got here and it's a perfect big flat spot for a tent. And we got a stellar view this way. So the National Recreation Area or National Monuments border is almost like somewhere in these trees cutting this way. From there in, you got to stay at designated campsites. There's no real backpacking, short trails and stuff. It's more of a car camping destination. But over here on BLM land in this wilderness study area, we can camp and still get to see the canyon, or at least backcountry camp. There's I think that's Black Canyon. I could be wrong though. That's over on the Crow Reservation. They've got a lot of really pretty stuff over there, but I heard it's almost next to impossible to get a trespass permit for the Crow Reservation. So a lot of that is undocumented terrain. Very beautiful and special place. Over that way is East Pryor Mountain. And Pryor Mountain's here. Snow line has receded significantly. Clouds stay like this. The horizon's a little open. We might get an absolutely incredible sunset. I just can't believe how it worked out the way it did, because got a ridge camping. It's literally like Hollywood flat, perfect camping spot right there where Lacey's sitting. And there's the spine that we've been walking towards all day. And the drop off down to Bighorn Canyon. This side canyon's Devil Canyon. That's also on the Crow Reservation. Looks like you're able to start and kind of drop down and at least backpack and hop out, but you need that trespass permit or the recreation permit for the... It's hard to find information on what you really need for it. Ranger, the National Monument Station, told me I needed a trespass permit. Online says different stuff, so I don't know. I was gonna avoid it because this seems like something I'm gonna get in trouble with. It's just a shame. Really pretty. Look at those shadows. this will be Lacey and I's view for the evening. Probably won't do much filming unless lighting changes or sunset starts. That's when I'll pick the camera back up. Just gonna enjoy this view now. So Lacey and I are sitting here watching sunset. It was set up in every way. It was still a good sunset, don't get me wrong, but it was set up every way to be an incredible sunset, but there must have been something on the horizon that blocked the clouds out because it didn't go as far as we thought it would. Very Boston Bruins of it. The sunset just first round exited. But who knows, there might be some little after show. We're going to keep watching it. The wind changed from cold wind, the sun went down, and now there's a warm pressure of wind coming up mountainside right now, and it feels pretty damn good. And last night on our way out here, when we were car camping, the Milky Way was out. The Milky Way is back in this hemisphere for viewing, so I'm excited about that tonight, especially out here where it's really, really damn dark. So yeah, might be a wrap on day number one. Well, we don't got too crazy amount of colors here, but the plane flying over is getting some good color with its vapor trails. People in there are probably getting a good view. Half of them probably have the window shut. Flying over the greater Yellowstone at sunset. It's day number 2. We're gonna hike out, do a bunch of day hikes, and then car camp. Alright, we are packed up and we're heading back to the truck.
Well, I'm a firm believer in everything happens for a reason. We were doing the day hikes around Bighorn Canyon, and Lacey started to not feel too good. So we went back towards camp to look for a spot to camp. There's 2 campgrounds in Bighorn Canyon National Recreation Area, and both were closed, which is weird because we were there in March last year and both were open. I don't know what's going on where both of them are closed. It didn't seem like there was a lot going on and why they had to close them. The day hikes would have taken the rest of the day, and we'd been close to sunset when we headed for the campground, and we would have been skunked. We would have been scrambling last minute.